Okay, so I wanted to do, well, first off, hey guys, I wanted to do a video on breastfeeding and how to increase your milk supply. I'll probably do like several videos about breastfeeding, but this is how to increase your milk supply. I had to quit breastfeeding for about 2 to 3 weeks while I took my antibiotics because I had got mastitis and a urinary tract infection, and I had antibiotics that I could not breastfeed with. And so I was pumping, like every single time that she would eat, I would pump, but I felt like my milk supply was going down a whole lot. So, and also this is my daughter Isabella. So I did some research and stuff like that, and I found out a lot of useful tips. And so let's just get started. Are you talking? The first tip is drink as much water as possible. Put down the pops, put down the tea, put down the Kool-Aid, put down everything. Drink water. Like, anytime that you think of your baby, drink water. Like, you need to be drinking 8 glasses a day, but I like to drink way more than that because whenever I breastfeed, I get so thirsty. But just drink water and drink water and drink water. Stay hydrated. If your lips are chapped, that means that you're not drinking enough water, because whenever your lips are not chapped, you're getting enough water. But if your lips are chapped, it means you're not drinking enough, and you need to increase it. So just drink a bunch of water. That's the first thing to do. Second thing, well, really, if you feel like none of my tips are helping you, you can always go to your doctor. They have medicine that they can give you, and probably a lot more tips, but this is just my research, and I want to become a lactation consultant, so I'm trying to help anybody on YouTube that needs any help. Second thing, eat your 6 meals a day. Not 6 full meals. You need to eat like 6 mini meals a day, because for one, you need to keep your calories up. Your milk supply is not going to stay there unless you are eating as much calories as you need to. And if you want to stay skinny and stuff like that, only eat your recommended calories, and then add the 500 extra for your breastfeeding. And, just don't snack on snack cakes and stuff. Snack on vegetables and eat healthier stuff. The third thing is, whenever you're pumping or whenever you're breastfeeding, just think about your baby. Think about them, how soft their skin is, what color their eyes are, their little nose, their little butt cheeks. Just think of everything that you can think about because of them, because it'll make your mind set in like they're right there, and you'll start to produce more milk. Fourth, pump whenever you can. If you're trying to increase your supply, feed. If you don't pump, or if you don't have feed them as often as possible. Just feed them, just feed and feed and feed and feed and feed. Or if you have a pump and feed them as often as you can, because that will help your milk supply, because your body is only going to make enough milk as your baby is drinking. So make enough milk. And also, don't just think that you have a low milk supply just because whenever you pump there's not a lot of milk, because a lot of the times whenever you're pumping, you're not getting the same amount of milk as your baby would, because a pump is different from your baby's mouth. So if you think that you have a low milk supply, you can just do these things I'm telling you to do, or you can go to your doctor. If your baby is having less amounts of wet diapers and less amounts of poop diapers, and they're not gaining weight, you might have a low milk supply. So I think I'm on tip number 5, or maybe tip number 6. I'm losing count. There are little pills that you can buy from, we have GNC's here, or any vitamin store, called, you can buy fenugreek pills, and I'm not really sure how many you take, but also just clear this with your doctor. Some people said take it 5 times a day. It'll make your pee smell like maple syrup, which I think is a plus because I like syrup, but those will help. It'll help you. Some people say within 3 days their milk supply is up, and some people say that it didn't help them. So just if you're willing to try anything, just try anything. Whenever I had this problem, I don't know if you can see this. Let me scoot it back. I tried this, which is organic mother's milk, and it's a tea that you drink, I think, 3 to 4 times a day. Well, I drink it whenever I was thirsty. I like it. It tastes. At first, I wasn't sure how. At first, I thought it tasted like grass, but I really liked it. The first time, I didn't put no sugar up in it because I didn't know you were supposed to drink sugar. You want to stand up? I didn't know you were supposed to put sugar up in it. Then I did a little bit more research, and I found out that you can put sugar and honey to sweeten it. So I would put sugar and, if we didn't have sugar, honey, and it tastes like black licorice. And I normally don't like black licorice, but it was like sweeter. It just depends on how much sugar and honey you add to it. Also, don't wear constricting clothing. I think this is my last tip, I'm not sure. Don't wear constricting clothing at all. Like, if you like to show off your figure and stuff like that, don't. Just don't think about it. Don't wear wear a proper maternity bra or a nursing bra that fits you right, that doesn't hug your boobs, and wear breathable clothing, because whenever your boobs are constricted or like strapped down with tight clothes, it makes your milk supply slowly decrease, because that's what you're supposed to do whenever you want your milk to go away. And if you have to supplement your baby with formula, don't get discouraged by it, because sometimes it just happens, and sometimes it's a problem that you have to go through. So supplement them with formula if you have to, and then keep on breastfeeding, and eventually you'll build your milk supply back up. But if you ever think that if you ever have signs that your milk supply is lowering, like your baby, and signs in your baby, or you really feel like it's not providing enough milk, always take your baby to the pediatrician, or go to your obstetrician or your OBGYN and tell them, I think my milk supply is lowering. And they might check your baby, or they might ask you how many pee and poop diapers, and they might give you a prescription to help you out. So, that's a suggestion. Don't just assume, if, like I said, assuming, you could assume, and then it could be completely wrong. So, don't just, who are you talking to? Don't just think you do because you think you do. So, that's really the tips that I can think of right now. Oh, also, I was watching this one person's YouTube video whenever I had this problem, and they said take a baby and mommy holiday. And that's a really good idea. I mean, you take you and your baby, and I have a sussy butt right now. Come on, I'm rocking you. Okay, let me put her on the booby, and then, you just want me to rock you, or do you want to stand up? You want to stand up? You can stand up and watch this. You can stand up and see. You want to bounce? Oh, good. Okay, take it. She's getting really fussy because you can't hear me, I'm sorry. Take a baby and mommy holiday where it's just you and the baby all day long, and you eat nothing but healthy food, and you just chill out with your baby and watch TV, because that seems like a really good idea to get your milk supply up, because it's just going to be you and your baby. So, if you have any questions, or if you want me to post any videos about it, just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll try to help you out. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.